peoples. How are you? Mr. Henry once again. Let me take this time now to welcome once again to Geography Lesson. Today, we are going to proceed discussing about population. Remember last time, we started talking about various concepts concerning population. And we talked about population dynamics, population density, death rates, and fertility rates. Those were the concepts which concerns this topic of population. But now, today, I want us to discuss something to do with population distribution in East Africa. Now, before we proceed, it's good we remind each other what is the meaning of the word population distribution. Population distribution, we say, is the way people are spread in a certain area, or the way people have been distributed in a certain area. Remember last time, when I was teaching you the last time, I talked about this concept. I say in some areas you find that people are so much concentrated, and in some areas people are sparsely distributed. That means there's some areas where people are many people living in a certain area, and some areas people are scattered. That means they live apart. Or sometimes you say that population distribution may mean a pattern of where people live. Pattern means the same thing to do with distribution. Now, geographically, East Africa is made of 3 countries. I know that you have studied in civics that you have studied about East Africa Community. East Africa Community is made of 6 countries. But in geography aspect, we talk about 3 countries: Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Now, as far as, because we discussed now, we're talking about the population distribution in East Africa, it's also very good we discuss. Also, we know the population distribution of these 3 countries. Kenya population is almost 51.3 million people. That is just approximately population of Kenya. Uganda population is almost 42.7 million people, and Tanzania has got 56.3 million people. That is the population of these 3 countries in East Africa. If you try to check here, you find that Tanzania is leading, followed by Kenya, and Uganda is the last country in population size. Now, I was analyzing this population distribution in East Africa. Now, here we're also talking about high population is experienced in cities and towns. If you try to compare Dar es Salaam and other regions, you find Dar es Salaam has got a lot of people in various areas. Nairobi, Kampala, those are big cities which have got very big number of people, because of different factors which we're going to see, which we're going to discuss later. Now, I want also to discuss now the factors affecting population distribution. Now, when we talk about factors affecting population distribution, what do we mean? We mean that we are talking about what are the reasons which make some of the areas to have high population and some areas to have low population. Now, what are the things? What are the reasons for that variation of distribution? Now, we're going to see those variations. What are the reasons for the variation of this population distribution? Now, one of the factors which affect population distribution in East Africa is economic activities. Economic activities, we're talking about the activities which a humankind or human being practice in different areas. Like we have agriculture, trade, which is commerce as well, mining, industries, and some other activities. If you try to check around, you find that these activities, they attract people in a certain area. Where the areas where there's fertile land, you find that people will go and have some farming activities. Trade and commerce areas where there's a trade and exchange of goods and services, most of the people will be attracted there. Mining, like in Tanzania, we have areas like Maryland, whereby a lot of people are there because of this activity of mining and also industries. Those are just areas where the economic activity activities which attract people to go to a certain area, at the end of the day you find that the population in that area is affected and is maybe either going up or going down. Let's go to another factor, that's climate. What is climate? You know, we say climate is, when you talk about the climate, we talk about the atmospheric condition which is recorded over a long time of, a long period of time. Remember grade 4s and 5, we discussed about this, weather and climate. Now, the climate we're talking about here, we're talking about the areas with favorable climate, attract people to live in those areas. Like we find that people don't like to live areas where there's too much cold, but also too much hot. You find that they like to live in areas where there's optimum temperature. The temperature is not very big, also the temperature is not very low. That means that area attracts people to live in those areas. Now in northern and southern highland, in Kilimanjaro, Mwanza, Mbeya and Iringa, those are the areas where people like to live in those areas because those areas are also having some kind of cold environment, but also some hot environment. Another factor, we have pests and diseases. What is pests? Pests, we say, these are the organisms which are destructive to humankind or to a human being, but also we have diseases which also affect humankind. Now, areas with a certain disease or certain kind of pests, that means they don't attract people. If you try to check around here, you find that in central Tanzania, in areas around Dodoma and Singida, those areas have got this pest called sesefly. Sesefly is a pest which affects animals mostly, and it causes this disease called sleeping sickness. Now you find that in those areas which have got those kind of diseases and also those kind of pests, people will not be attracted to live in those areas. Therefore, you find that in one way or another they'll be attracted. They will not attract people and also affect the population distribution. Number 4, we have soil. Soil, we're talking about the fertile soil. The fertile soil usually affect farmers. They attract farmers to go and live in those areas because usually farmers want to live in areas where there's fertile soil so that they can practice agriculture. And also we have social services. Social services is also one of the factors which causes people to live. That means to live, to dwell in a certain place, but also they can move out from a certain area because of either availability of social services or those services are not available, like water, electricity, schools, hospitals. These are the social services which attract many people to live in a certain area because usually sometimes survival of the people depend on this availability of these social services, water, electricity, schools and hospitals. Another one is relief. What is relief? Relief is the nature of the landscape. The nature of the landscape. That means when you talk about the nature of the landscape, we'll say sometimes the land can be a highland or lowland or a plain. Now this factor also is a reason lead to people to live in that area. Usually people like to live in areas where there's a little bit of plain and not very much high. Therefore in higher lands and mountainous areas, people don't prefer to live there. People don't like to live in mountain areas because you find that they will be also a little bit separated from a community. But also in mountains, you find that it's not easy to practice some of the activities such as agriculture and some other activities which a humankind can do. And the last one, we have political stability. Now, political stability, what is the meaning of it? Political stability, we're talking about the presence of peace, the absence of conflict, misunderstanding and war. Usually in areas where people are free to live in areas, or the areas where people have got peace, there's no any kind of disturbance, no any kind of social conflicts or political conflict, you find that those areas will attract people to live in those areas. But areas where people are fighting, there's conflict, there's misunderstanding, people leave and depart from those areas and find areas where they can be safe or secure. Therefore, these are the factors affecting population distribution. I'll say that this population distribution you're talking about, what are the reasons which causes some of the areas to have high population and some of the areas to have low population. These are the causes, or these are the reasons for the population distribution. Now, I'm sure you have understood as I explained, and you have followed me from the beginning of the lesson, and you have catched and grasped some of the points which I've already taught. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you, and have a good